as the Sangha great virtues. For the sake of this assembly and all living beings, please turn the wonderful Dharma wheel to teach and guide us how to end birth and death, leave suffering and attain bliss, and quickly realize non-birth. Cung tín đại đức tòng thịnh, vì thứ pháp hội cập nhật thiết chúng sanh, thịnh chuyên diệu pháp luân giao đạo ngã môn, như há liêu sanh thoát tư ly khổ đạc lạc, tất chứng vô sanh. Homage to the Blessed, Noble, and Perfectly Enlightened One. Nam mô Saranto Suchero Ye Alahudi San Miao San Poto Xie. Nam mô Tadakha Toya Daya Alahade Tamyo Tambo Da Toa. The unsurpassed, profound, subtle, and wonderful Dharma in 100,000 million aeons is difficult to encounter. Now that I'm able to see and hear, I will receive and maintain it. I vow to fathom the thus come one's true and actual principles. Wu shang sheng sheng wei miao fa bai qian wan jian an zao yu wo jin jian wen de shou chi Yuan Jie Ru Lai Zhe Shi Yi. The Buddhas and Bodhisattvas, Great Master Ting Liang, Great Master YongHua, all good monks and nuns, and all good advisors of Emitofuo. Chư Phật Bồ Tát kính thưa Thanh Lương Đại sư Hòa thượng Tịnh Hóa, quý thầy cô và quý vị thiện tri thức. A Di Đà Phật. 诸佛菩萨、清凉大士、师父上人、各位出家人、各位善知识，阿弥陀佛。Hello everyone, today is the last Sunday of November the 27th of 2022. We are gathered here at Wei Mountain Temple to continue discussing the very first chapter of the Avatamsaka Sutra. We are on slide 809. Thank you all for coming. We are in the midst of discussing the world rulers. The world rulers here, these are the beings, the leaders of the world, of our world, who gathered here in the various world in the universe, who gathered here to listen to Shakmina Buddha explain the Avatamsaka Sutra. And we are right now talking about the kings of the second dhyana heaven. That's a heaven where they use light to speak, to communicate by light instead of words, like in our world. Okay, that's what happens in the second dhyana. When you reach the second dhyana, you will emit light. Okay, more light. You emit a lot of light, and as you get higher, you emit more and more light. So these, in particular, in these heavens here, in the second dhyana heaven, where their palaces are suspended in space, up there, That's some of the heavens there of the second dhyana heaven. And these world rulers are the kings of these heavens. And here we're talking about 809, celestial king, wisdom of supreme intent.
最胜念智天王。
Okay, commentary. What is the talking about mindfulness, wisdom of mindfulness, the supreme mindfulness. It says here, according to commentary, have supreme wisdom. This king here has wisdom that he has the ability to help living beings become mindful of a triple jewel. Now, in Buddhism, we often hear the word mindful, especially since with the help of the Hinayana meditation teacher. They keep on teaching about mindfulness meditation, okay? And one can't help but wonder, in particular, in the context of this king here, of wisdom. He uses wisdom to 最胜念, to help living beings have the most supreme, the most winning, victorious mindfulness. Okay, so one sort of wonders what is this mindfulness here that we Buddhists talk about, and why? Anyone has an idea? Why do we need to be mindful? What is the big deal about being mindful? I still chuckle when I first started learning meditation in my master's temples, and I was hungry for instructions on what to do. Just tell me what I need to do in order to reach dhyanas, reach samadhi, enter samadhi. Okay, I'm very practical minded. So just tell me what to do. And so, since my master disciples could not tell me exactly what to do in order to enter samadhi, so I read a lot of books in English, in Vietnamese, in French, or what have you, about meditation. Okay, I was hungry, devouring all sorts of information. I used to remember going to the bookstore and reading books on meditation, looking for books in meditation. You have like rows upon rows of books on meditation. And at the time, mindfulness meditation was king. Everyone was teaching about mindfulness meditation thanks to teachers like Thich Nhat Hanh, who's now dead. Okay, and he is so successful that even Dalai Lama also started talking about mindfulness meditation. Every single monk and nun was teaching about mindfulness meditation. Everyone jumped on the mindfulness meditation bandwagon. Okay, yeah, and for some reason, Master Xinhua's disciples, I remember one of the seniors, a monk, when he started teaching on meditation, he also talked about mindfulness as well. Okay? I find it disgusting. Because all the information about mindfulness meditation out there in the books and so forth is disgustingly non-Buddhist. Including that famous monk right there. To me, it's not meditation. Why do you smile? For God's sake. Meditation is a very serious business. We're in the business of ending birth and death. It's nothing to smile about. Huh? But it's so popular, and because it's so popular, everyone had to teach about mindfulness meditation. And so when I started teaching meditation, I did something just the opposite. I said, no one taught about full lotus, so I'm going to teach about full lotus, like Master YongHua. And then since no one liked to do it, I said, okay, I challenge you to do it and see how much pain you can endure. Never mind, there's mindfulness meditation here. Go somewhere else. And many of you amazingly loved it. You're a glutton for punishment. Well, anyway, so why do these bodhisattvas who are manifest themselves as celestial kings, kings of the second dhyana heavens, would be teaching their followers about supreme mindfulness? What do you think? And that's amazingly, all the meditation teachers in this country, in the world, in Vietnam, in Taiwan, in Europe, and when they heard about mindfulness meditation, they said, oh yeah, I'm going to be mindful. And no one asks, why? Don't you ever wonder why we have to be mindful? Huh? No one asked. That's what's amazing to me. Everyone says, oh, he's so famous, he says, so many people follow him, therefore he must be doing something right. Just because you have 10 million mosquitoes follow you, it's not necessarily a good thing. Okay? I'm sorry, I don't mean to insult anyone, okay? But it's weird. Why? Why no one ever asked? I admit, I confess to you, I'm very curious by nature, okay? If I see something, I want to see why, okay? And that's why I don't mind my disciple says, why? Every time I tell her something, he says, why? I will tell her, do this, and say, why? Okay. Yes, Seven.
Master, in my interpretation before, I think mindful meaning just focus on one thing.
Yes.
No distract, only one thing. You
Yes.
think about that. That's
Exactly. That's what we are taught. But no one asked why. And don't you think? Isn't that the case? It's like you are sheeps. He said, because someone popular, someone famous says you should think about smiling. It's okay. No one asks why. I don't get it. It's like you are sheeps. Huh? And many monks and nuns do that too. Yeah? I want you to know now, after 10 years of being together, you're asking me why doesn't bother me. Because I ask why all the time. But I don't like when you ask me why, that's all. I'm kidding. Okay. Don't you wonder why is that we must be mindful? Why we taught to be mindful? And amazingly, no one asked. And all the monks, including some of Master YongHua teachers and disciples who are supposed to be teachers, in order to teach meditation back then, 20 years ago, they had to teach me and had to teach mindfulness meditation as well. They said, "Oh, I know. We should be mindful of the Buddha's name." I said, "Why?" Okay, and everyone talked about mindfulness. If you talk meditation, you taught meditation, it has to be mindfulness, some sort of mindfulness meditation, because it's like the standard of meditation. I didn't hear any of my Sheshe disciples said, I don't like mindfulness meditation. They all said, yeah, you should be learning about mindfulness when you meditate. Okay, mindfulness of your breathing, mindfulness of, whatever. What's the purpose? I'm asking you. What's the purpose of the Buddhist teachers asking you to be mindful? Why should you be mindful? Koreans, time to speak up. It's dead quiet. Why? Because Koreans said, because you're told to do so. You don't ask why. Yes, 8.
Master,
Why do you ask why, by the way? All the time.
I don't think I asked why.
You didn't mean it?
No, I don't think I asked that many whys.
I never talked to you that much. Okay, never mind. Okay, not about you.
When the temple doctor, Tuck, came and he was meeting with a few of us, he mentioned about focusing on the now versus focusing on the present. Is that similar to mindfulness? Because he's saying the now and
What's the difference between the now and the mindfulness? I don't understand that. What's the now versus the mindfulness?
No, it's a question.
The present. What's the difference in now and the present? To me, it sounds like the same thing in English.
He said present had past, present, and future. Now is just now. He said the energy, I think, he didn't explain it, but it seemed like the energy was different. Vicky, do you want to elaborate?
And you agree? I mean, the present is different from now. In English, to me, present is now. Michael, what do you think? You know? Use a mic. What, you have so many handheld microphones, you have to pass it around? Okay, Mike.
Yesterday night you mentioned about the sana, in the snap of the second. So in the present, when you say something, it's a snap of a second, it's already past. It could be in the past already, which is now, is like really now.
If the present is past and you call it past, you don't call it present anymore.
But when you say the present, like you say one word, it's like just like a sana, you just like snap the finger, you already say the word and it's already in the past right away.
Then you don't call it present. That's precisely my point. You don't call it present anymore.
Can we call the past present or present past?
Yeah, and they call it past. You don't call it present. Present is now. Okay, clearly I differ from, are you Taiwanese?
I got the French,
What are you exactly? Excuse me, Chichao?
half.
Half Chichao, and the other half is?
Half Chichao, half Hakka.
Hakka? What's Hakka? Hakka. Okay, so not Taiwanese. Okay, that's all we need to know. So you're Chinese, we only Chinese versus Taiwanese. Okay, so yeah, I mean that's why they're weird. They're not quite Chinese, they're not quite Taiwanese. That's why they confuse you in present and now. Okay, anyone else? Why? What is this? What you think present and now are different, or what? I mean, now we're into a different topic. Koreans, do you have such expression where present and now are different? I don't care. Vietnamese, Filipinos, I don't care. Go ahead, go for us.
Now that means this moment.
Okay.
It's today. Today, it can be present. But now that means this moment.
This moment.
Yes.
Okay. The American will call this moment the present. You call it this moment. Okay. Okay, we're not argue with the Vietnamese either. Jewel Conk.
이거 아닌 것 같은데. 그냥 네, 주민님 질문입니다. 은퇴한 CEO에게 조언해줄 말이 있을까요? 그분에 대한 배경 지식을 조금 말씀드리면 현재 75세로 카톨릭 신자이고 불교 수행이 하나님께 더 가까이 가게 해준다는 신념을 가지고 있습니다. 제가 예전에 기업에서 일할 때 모시던 사장님이신데 대기업 공채 평사원으로 입사해서 사장까지 되신 분입니다. 현재 미국 샌프란시스코와 한국을 오가면서 지내고 계시는데 샌프란시스코 따님집이 법장사와 차로 1시간 정도 소요됩니다. 이분은 지금 정토 수행 지침서를 선물로 드리려고 합니다. 어떻게 이분에게 조언을 할 수 있을까요?
Wow. Did you hear?
여러분,
This lady here is incredible. She sounds so good, just like my GPS lady. Okay, I would like her to record her when you give instructions, okay? Cross your legs. Left foot first. You have such a elegant, eloquent, and yet so clearly enunciated way of speaking Korean, okay? Beautiful, okay? All right, so I would name her my preferred choice for Korean instructions. Okay, sorry, I got distracted. Translation.
Master, I have a question about my, this is a retired CEO. What would be advice that I could give it to him? I'd like to give his basic, I'd like to explain his background information. Currently he's...
Sorry, you're slurring. He was facing what?
Sorry, let me try again. I'd like to give an advice to a retired CEO, and I have a questions about that.
Okay.
And I'd like to share his background information.
All right.
First of all, he's 75 years old, and he is Catholic. And he believes that Buddhist cultivation will help him to get closer to his God. And he believes that.
Closer
And
to his what?
God.
It's
G-O-D.
God. Okay. He likes that. Okay, why not?
And this is the CEO that I worked under him when I was working for his company. He started from the lowest rank and eventually he became CEO.
Okay.
Currently, he's traveling from San Francisco to Korea, back and forth.
His daughter lives in San Francisco. It's about 1 hour away from DTT. And I'm thinking about maybe giving him a present for your Pure Land handbook, which was translated by So Young.
Right.
That's all her question.
The question? Is there a question?
Master, this question from Jumi, not Venerable Shenfa. This question is from Jumi.
Master, this question is from Jumi, and then Venerable Shenfa actually read for us in Korean.
Yeah.
And Jumi's first sentence was, there is a retired CEO. Is there any advice can I give to him?
Advice to do what?
Then,
I have a lot of advices for the retired CEO. You know, but what do you have in mind? What does he want? What do you want?
I just explained to her if she could provide more information.
Yeah, you don't just give advices. They need to want something before we can give advices. Anyway, work on that. Okay, so so your temple doctor said there's a difference between now and the present. Okay, let's assume they're different. Okay, continue.
He said now doesn't have a past and now doesn't have a future.
Okay, sounds good. But what about the present? Does the present have a past or a future? Anyway, he's not here. He's not going to be able to answer the question. So, what was the point again?
Is it the same as mindfulness?
Is it the same as mindfulness? Is now mindfulness or the present mindfulness?
I'm not sure.
Was it your question or his question?
My question.
Why do you have to ask me that question? No. Neither the present nor now have anything to do with mindfulness in my mind. Okay? Next. Anyone else? What is mindfulness and why mindfulness? I'm teaching you this because I want to debunk, I want to demystify this mindfulness teaching here. Okay? If you do it wrong, it's baloney. Okay? When we Buddhists teach you mindfulness, it has a significance. There's a reason why we teach you mindfulness. Okay? And most of these teachers don't understand, especially lay people who went to study from these monks, Dalai Lama, and all those that came back and say, I'm an expert in mindfulness meditation now. They say, what? And what you're teaching is not mindfulness meditation. Yes, was there a point here somewhere? No? What is it? Why do you have to be mindful? Oh my God, you don't understand? I know most of you have practiced mindfulness meditation already. Hey Yun, you did. You did.
enter the samadhi.
And that's what you get. That's my teaching, not your mindfulness teacher. You cheating, you cheater. Anyone else? Huh? Why? Yes, go for it.
Master, maybe I'm thinking maybe just watching our thoughts, it means mindfulness. Is that right?
Why? Why do you watch our thoughts?
Because our
Isn't it amazing that I challenge all the internet, YouTube, and all those mindfulness teachers out there, monks and nuns and lay people and so-called experts and PhDs and authors and so forth. I'm asking you, why do you have to be mindful? Huh? Continue. Go ahead, sir. Go for us.
Because our thoughts are random and out of control, so maybe being mindful means that we watch over what we are thinking.
So what? I don't need to watch over I'm thinking.
I don't know.
You see my problem? No one ever asked these teachers, especially those famous teachers, why should I be mindful? Why are you teaching me that? Why must I do this? What's in it for me? Oh yeah, sorry, Catholic. He says, I'm going to be mindful of my God.
To my understanding, mindful is about thinking. So I don't know if this count as being mindful or mindful meditation, because as soon as you're thinking, it means that it will create attachments. So I don't understand.
You cannot keep on stealing Buddhist things from us. Attachment is a Buddhist concept.
Oh, I kind of learned it from you, so.
Okay, go for it.
As I understand, you need mindfulness because it will bring your awareness what happened in your mind.
Okay, you need to be aware of what's happening in your life. Why?
So when you're aware what happened in your mind, so you can how to control it.
Okay, fine. Okay, good point. Let's say that this teacher tells you to be aware of your mind. Yes. Okay, and you aware by when you eat, you chew 25 times.
Yes.
Do you agree with that?
You have to aware what you're thinking, what you're doing. When you're doing something, you need to know. Oh,
but sir, when I enjoy my Korean barbecue, I don't want to count 25 times. It seems it's the least important thing in my mind right then. Can I just enjoy my food? And isn't that also called mindfulness? Because I'm enjoying my food?
Yeah, that's a mindfulness. Because
There you go. Then why do you have to count 25 times when I'm enjoying my food?
Actually, you don't have to count. I mean, but you're aware you are eating barbecue. And you know how it tastes.
What do you say? Yes, 8. You see, isn't it interesting? No one ever asks this. That's what bothers me. The whole world never asks this. How is it possible? Huh? The whole world spends billions of dollars on this mindfulness meditation here. And they even have an institute of mindfulness meditation in UCLA. You know, the scientists there doing mindfulness meditation. I can't wait to go there and say, why are we doing this again? Yes, 8.
From Ray Zhuang, is it to keep your mind alert and aware of thoughts you attach to so that you can detach from the thoughts?
So? 8.
From Jesus, being mindful of one thing should reduce thoughts.
So?
From No 1596, you need to be mindful of your object of meditation to concentrate.
Okay, concentration. Okay, fine. Okay. That's not what they're teaching. They're teaching mindfulness is not in order to concentrate. Okay? Anyway, anyone has any ideas on why do Buddhist teachers teach you about mindfulness? The true Buddhist teachers, the Bodhisattvas, the Buddhas, did mention mindfulness. And why? Not the commercial teachers who teach mindfulness in order to make money off you. Okay? That's I judge such people. Yes? It's not Buddhist meditation. It's not Buddhist teaching, the way they're teaching it. Mindfulness of what you're eating by counting 25 times before you can swallow. How ridiculous could that be? Mindfulness by smiling? What kind of nonsense is that? That's not meditation. Yes, go forth. I know he's popular, he's dead already, so now it's time for you guys to move on, okay? Go forth.
Thank you, Sifu. I am guessing that the Buddha is teaching us be in mindfulness so that we can identify what is the true thinking and false thinking. In that way, we can drop it and focus on the right thing to do.
Okay. All right. Anything else? Yes, 4. This ex-mindfulness meditation person. 4.
I guess mindful meaning pure mind without any doubting and discrimination mind. All feel it like pure mind without no discrimination and no doubting.
Okay. JMT.
Master, are you here from JMT, Master?
Yes, we can hear you. Happy birthday, by the way.
Thank you, Master. From what I learned, the proper mindfulness is one of the practice of the Eightfold Path. So it's a condition before you enter proper samadhi. So you have to have proper mindfulness first.
Okay, that's sound. Okay, that's correct. Go forest.
Emitofuo, Master. I am in line with Master Z about that. I think I read somewhere in the Kinh Phạm Võng that you have to be mindful of the Buddha, and mindful of the Dharma, mindful of the Buddha's name, and so on. And the other mindfulness, the meditation teacher nowadays teach. I don't think it's anything to do with with the mindfulness mentioned in the sutra of
Okay. All right. JMT, question. No question. Go first. You still question there.
A Di Đà Phật, dạ con trả lời chứ không có câu hỏi. Dạ, theo cái ý kiến của con đó thì chánh niệm đó là lúc nào mình cũng phải có định và tuệ trong mọi vấn đề.
Emitofuo, this is an answer, not a question. Based on my opinion, I think that proper mindfulness is whatever you do, you need to have samadhi and wisdom in everything you do.
Okay, number 8.
From Zhu Hong, in Chinese, mindful is zheng nian. Is it designed to let the practitioners have proper views?
Okay. Anyone else? 8.
From Brady, mindfulness brings about concentration on the particular task you are consciously undertaking at present.
Okay, continue.
From Cordelia, mindfulness so we can prevent mistake.
Prevent what? Mistakes.
From Canada, Daniel, for our hearts not to be polluted.
Okay? All right. Let me give you the answer. Okay? wait, yeah, you may not agree with this. How can you be mindful? Instead of answering you the question, I ask you the other side of mindfulness. Okay? How can you be mindful? Why should you be mindful? Right? That's the bottom line, isn't it? If you go and take a class in meditation and they teach you mindfulness, you have to ask you, why is it important for meditation? Yes? And why is it important to me? Anyone thought of that? How can you be mindful in meditation? You are mindful because it is important to you. Not important to me, but important to you. That's what the mindfulness meditation teachers fail to do, to convince me that I must be mindful because it's important to me. That's why I never bought into mindfulness meditation, because it's not important to me what they taught. Does it make sense to you? That's why you, trader, came here, because it's never that important to you. That's why you can drop it just like that, right? I mean, you trader to the other side, but you're a good disciple. We can't be perfect, okay? Yes, JMT.
안녕하세요. 질문 아니고요. 우리가 마음 챙김을 하는 이유는 마음에서 일어나는 여러 가지 감정과 생각들을 보면서 그것들을 이렇게 멈추기 위해서 마음 챙김을 한다고 생각합니다.
Okay.
Sarah, we cannot hear you.
Hi, Master. This is not a question, but this is about mindfulness. I believe in our mind there are many emotions and thoughts. The reason we're doing mindfulness is to still those emotions and thoughts.
Yes, but you, as a teacher as we are, we should have to find a better way to help our students become more mindful. Agree? And that's why I'm proposing to you, if you want to help them become more mindful, like this Celestial King wisdom of supreme intent here, you have to give them a reason why it's important for them to be mindful. Agree? It's that very fundamental. And this is where all the meditation teachers fail, because they fail to convince the students it's that important. And whereas similarly, the students who learn about mindfulness meditation, they practice for a while, and they realize after a while, not a big deal. Because it's not that important to me. You see what I mean? This is where those mindfulness meditation teachers fail, because they never could convince their students their mindfulness teaching is that important to them. Yes, Daniel?
I think I have a little problem. So how can someone be mindful when you enter what you guys call Somali? I call it deep prayers. When I go into deep prayer, I usually don't have no thoughts. So how can, I don't know if it's the same thing as Somali, but when someone enters Somali in Buddhism, what does it mean to be mindful at that point and you have no thoughts at that point? And there's nothing.
Because the mindfulness leads to meditation, and to a state of no thought. And we're seeking that state of no thought. That's our goal. The problem is that these teachers is that they fail to link, to make the link between the mindfulness and the state of no thought, because they don't understand the state of no thought. That's why they could not convince the students. When the students enter the state of no thought, they fail to recognize it themselves as teachers. And then they fail to recognize the benefits of having no thoughts. That's why they fail. That's why mindfulness meditation is taught out there by all the teachers, especially famous ones, the ones that have a lot of followers. I don't care what it is, whether it's a Dalai Lama, whether it's Thich Nhat Hanh, whether a Ra teacher at Google and so forth. They're all nonsense, because it's not really mindfulness meditation that the Buddhists taught. Okay? So the answer is right here. This wisdom here. The guy has wisdom. So he says, part of my wisdom is that I help you become more mindful of the triple jewel. Why? Because it's extremely important to you. His wisdom is in convincing you it's important to you to be mindful of triple jewel. Do you understand? I struggle when I look at this sound here and say, Sim wisdom enabling living beings to be mindful of triple jewel, and I ask why? Why should living beings be mindful of triple jewel? That Catholic guy here, you tell him be mindful of triple jewel, he says, why? Right? I'm Catholic. Why should we be mindful of triple jewel? Because it's important to you. Wasn't there a question in Korea earlier, some sort of ex-CEO says, I want to be closer to my God? I said, okay, if you're mindful of triple jewel, you will be closer to your God. Okay? Tell me what's important to you. You want to make more money? To be mindful of triple jewel, you make more money. eventually. Yes, spy number one.
Master.
You know, is that cute that her phone is number one as well?
Merci. Okay. It's a lot of pain.
Yeah.
What is mindful of Triple Jew? What does that mean?
Okay, I'm coming to that. Good question. If it's important to you, then you become mindful. Okay? Mindful is to remember. It's in your mind. Mindful is so full in your mind. It's a mind and full. So it's full, it's filling your mind. Does it help? Yes, Catholic.
So is it, for example, when I pray the rosary with my mom or by myself, whatever, when I pray the rosary, I'm repeating the same verse multiple times, and then would that means that means mindful, or I'm getting the wrong concept?
No, you should be mindful, triple jewel. I just told you. Catholic. Anyone else? Yes, spy number one.
Okay, my master. So mindful Triple Jew, fourth Triple Jew. In my mind, I'm saying Buddha, Dharma, Sangha, Buddha, Dharma, Sangha. What does that do?
You are too much. Go back to where you came from. Koreans, don't get offended. This is how we talk in the United States. We insult each other. It's perfectly normal for us to talk like this. Okay. I just told you, honey, it's because it's important for you to be mindful of the Buddha, the Dharma, and the Sangha. The Buddha, the Dharma, and Sangha. You gave yourself the answer. Okay, then let me explain to you why it's important for you to be mindful of the Buddha, and the Dharma, and the Sangha. Would that help? Huh? Because it's important to you. Why is it important for you to be mindful of the Buddha? Okay? I don't know. It depends on who you are. You know, it depends who you are. If you look at, for example, the most perfect human being in the world, that's the Buddha. The most handsome person in the world is the Buddha. Huh? The most remarkable man, the perfection of the universe, that's the Buddha. So when you're mindful of Buddha, you are mindful of this perfection, of this perfect ideal that actually are you, no one else. That's how important it is. What you do, you ignorant people, is that you renounce your own worth. You forget that deep down, your true nature is that you are a Buddha yourself. And that's why you behave unlike a Buddha. And that's why we're teaching you, hey, be mindful of Buddha because you are a Buddha in the future. You will be a Buddha in the future. I don't care if you don't believe it or not. Even a Catholic will be a Buddha in the future. So eventually, the sooner he'll be mindful of the Buddha, the sooner he'll become a Buddha. The more mindful of the Buddha, the quicker you become a Buddha. How's that? That's how important it is. It's not that important for you to be mindful of the food you're chewing. For God's sake. It's not that important for you to smile. What kind of nonsense is that? It's not Buddhist meditation. Buddhist meditation is to teach you mindfulness because the mindfulness of important things to you, of paramount importance to you. That's why. Otherwise, we would not be wasting your time teaching you about nonsense, teaching you about the thing you like to hear so that we can pick your pocket. And get your adoration. Yes, number one. I'm calm.
Master, I know it's very important to be mindful of the Buddha, Dharma, Sangha. I know that, I swear. But I don't know how to do that, Master.
Don't swear, honey. Didn't your mom teach you?
I don't know how to be mindful.
Let me finish. You understand? It's so important for you because there's something called the Buddha who's really you, no one else. Okay? And you are, right now, you're different from the Buddha. In the future, you will become a Buddha because now that I told you about the Buddha, you will become a Buddha yourself, like it or not. This is how dangerous we are. We tell you, hey, Buddha, you future Buddha, you will become a Buddha. You can't help it. Because you planted the seeds in you already. You will become a Buddha. So, is that how important it is? Because that's who you are. That's what you're capable of. Who you really are. And you just forgot about it. The more you revolve this real incarnation, okay, the more forgetful you are about that. Who you are, who you really are. Because many people ask themselves, who am I, why am I here, and so forth. You are the Buddha. You should be mindful how important it is. You are not a Buddha yet, but you are a Buddha to be. The more you're mindful of that, the more you're aware of that, the sooner you be your true self. How's that? For a reason why you want to be mindful of the Buddha. How come no Buddhist teacher ever told you that? How come no monk or nun ever told you that? If you told me that, I said, okay, teach me how to be mindful of the Buddha then. Agree? I want to be mindful because it's me. Because it's important to me. It's the best I can be. Hey, Marine person. You know the ad. The Marine has be all you can be. Join the Marines. You know? Okay? That's why you want to be mindful of the Buddha. What about the Dharma? Why you have to be mindful of the Dharma? Because the Dharma enables you to become the Buddha sooner. The more mindful you are of the Dharma, you become a Buddha sooner. Yes, Conk.
네, 안녕하세요. 저는 평생 왜냐고 묻지 않고 그냥 알아서 하도록 교육을 받아서 이런 질문하기 좀 쉽지 않은데 화엄경에서는 천황들의 이름을 길게 쓰는 것을 별로 두려워하지 않는 것 같은데 왜 여기서는 삼보의 마음 챙김을 해야 된다는 그 삼보라는 말이 생략됐는지 궁금합니다. 그리고 두 번째 질문은 앞으로도 이 염, 그러니까 마음 챙김이라는 말을 경전에서 보면 삼보의 마음 챙김을 하라는 의미로 받아들이면 될지 궁금합니다. 감사합니다.
Master, all my life, I never learned about asking why. I always just follow what was instructed. So it's a little bit difficult for me to ask this way. In Avatamsaka Sutra, I noticed that they explain all these celestial beings, their long names, without hesitation. But I'm wondering on this slide, why they didn't mention about triple jewel. And from now on, when I read any sutra, if there is anything about mindfulness, does that mean that I should be mindful of triple jewel? Thank you.
Let me finish my point and then maybe we'll answer your question. Okay? So you mindfulness of the Dharma because the Dharma enables you to get what you want. That's what the Dharma is supposed to do for you. Okay? If you mindful of the Dharma and it happens to be that's what's important to you is become a Buddha, you become a Buddha sooner. If your objective is to make money, okay? Never mind about money. How about something more realistic, like be happy? Because money, for many people, they pursue money, they pursue fame, is because they want to be happy. Yes? So look at the bigger goal. You want to be happy. The mindfulness of the Dharma will bring you happiness sooner. Will help you realize happiness. Okay? Better than any other methods. Okay? So for example, if you want to be happy and happiness to you means that making money, the Dharma will help you make money too if that's what you really want. But you really have wisdom, you eventually see that money actually comes from blessings. The foundation of money is blessings. Therefore, for worldly people to seek after money by cheating, by stealing, that's not from blessings. That's not creating blessings. That's creating karmas. That's creating negative blessings. Whereas, if you are mindful of Dharma and you believe in Dharma is such important for you to become rich, then you should be creating more and more blessings. Okay? So my point here is, in general, the more you practice the Dharma, you find that the happier you become, and actually you'll be more satisfied with your life because the Dharma enables you to get what you want. It helps you understand what's important to you in particular. You cannot neglect your health. You cannot neglect your physical health. You cannot neglect your mental health. You cannot neglect your intellectual health, okay? You cannot neglect those. And that's what Dharma tells you. And you need to develop wisdom because happiness is wisdom. People are unhappy because they have no wisdom. The higher level wisdom people are a lot happier than us. Trust me. The more wisdom you have, the happier you become. The healthier you become. The more successful you become. The richer you become. You see? That's why the Dharma helps you get what you want. Helps you realize what's important to you. That's why we teach you the Dharma, to teach you the methods, the tools, give you the tools to get what you want. And ultimately, that will lead you to become a Buddha yourself. Because the Dharma cannot help you get what you want. You cannot become a Buddha yourself, clearly. It's ultimately, the Dharma has to help you get everything you want, including Buddhahood. That's how important it is. Yes, 8.
Jane has a question that's not related to this. Will working in a cannabis shop bring the person bad karma? A friend recently started working in a cannabis shop selling weeds.
Yes, very bad karmas. It's not advisable. It's called deviant livelihood. You try to avoid making a living by engaging in creating bad karmas. Okay, if you can. And I understand sometimes you can't help it because let's say you are in Afghanistan and you try to grow some crops and you're not barely making any money, and therefore the Taliban comes around and tells you, hey, grow some poppies for me. I pay you 20 times what you're making. Who are you to say no when your children are starving? I understand that. It's understandable. Okay? So that's our common retribution to have such products. Okay? However, if you still have a choice, you should avoid creating bad karmas through your livelihood. Okay? Through your profession. Okay? If you have blessings, you will not have to engage in those bad professions, undesirable professions. Because the karma you create from those bad professions will follow you for life. It's a scary thing, let me tell you. For example, I was in Taiwan and I was at this temple here, and there's this Taiwanese man who used to be in the Taiwanese CIA. Okay, and he's in 60s now. Then he says, I want to repent of my offenses in my prior profession. Okay, so that's why I'm here. I want to redress that. I want to change my life because I know I spent my entire life doing things that are wrong. I regret it. So I want to, give it all up and renounce everything so that I can start anew and do something important, significant with my life. Okay? And the funny thing is that his mind is so distorted after his entire life of doing his work that he cannot absorb the Buddhist teaching. His mind is all screwed up. It's so scary thing. He doesn't get it. And the funny thing is that he stinks. You come near him, he stinks. And he covers it up by wearing brute cologne. Brute. Men wear the brute cologne because it's so strong that it overcomes your body odor. It really, really stinks. And there's a reason for that. I'm going to tell you why. But you want to avoid the bad professions because there's consequences, serious consequences. Especially in his profession where he's thinking of killing and harming others. That's a horrible, horrible profession. No, I advise not you to get into cannabis, because cannabis will rob you of all your judgment, all your wisdom, would make you very difficult to open your wisdom. Yes, 7, 8.
From Canada, Daniel. This goes along with Jane's question, buying alcohol for a gift isn't proper also, right? Or bartending.
You try to avoid it as well. If you buy alcohol and give alcohol as a gift, you have no arms for many, many lives. That's your retribution. No arms. Okay? So you see, the Dharma is a beautiful, beautiful thing. So what I'm advocating is, yes, you should go to school, learn take your education seriously, learn a trade, learn engineering, learn programming, learn science, learn biology, learn whatever you're supposed to learn in terms of worldly skills to sustain yourself. But you also need to learn the Dharma, because that's a supreme wisdom. One is to sustain yourself by acquiring worldly skills, but the Dharma is what will bring you happiness. Okay, that's what's missing in the education of the world. The spiritual wisdom, the spirituality. Someone is to tell them that, tell the world that you have to learn the Dharma. Okay? And finally, you have to be mindful of the Sangha. Why? Because the Sangha is supposed to be representatives of the enlightened disciples of the Buddha who are here in the world in order to guide us on how to practice the Dharma. The Dharma is too profound. Therefore, you can't practice it on your own. It's very difficult to understand. It's multi-layered. It's so profound that the Buddha found it necessary to send his disciples to our world, okay, in order to teach us how to practice it. That's how important it is. That's why you have to be mindful of the Sangha. Because don't think that you can pick up a book or you go to school, get a degree in Buddhology, or learn and read up on Buddhism, and you understand the Dharma. You cannot understand the Dharma until the Sangha shows you how to penetrate the meaning of the words. That's why it's important for you to be mindful of the Sangha. The Sangha are your teachers, and therefore if they are any good at all, they're supposed to help you practice the Dharma. Meaning they practice the Dharma themselves already. That's what they know how to show you. It's not something they read from the book. I find it deplorable that the teacher nowadays, young teachers nowadays, pick up a book on Chan, read all sorts of books like I used to, and they think they understand everything. Or the student who call in and say, I want you to explain to me why I meditate and so forth. Is it why this meditation is about? My answer is that do it and you find out why. Because I'm teaching you how to do it for you to find out why. I found out why already. Isn't it time for you to find out? Okay? So that's why you want to be mindful of all three. Okay? Does it mean you say, like the spy number 1 said, I'm mindful of Buddha, I'm mindful of Dharma, I'm mindful of the Sangha? No! You idiot. Sorry, I had to throw it in just for the heck of it. No. Remember the definition of mindfulness? The mindfulness is important to you. So for example, whatever is important to you right now in a chanchi, what's important for you right now during a chanchi? Huh? You have to think? What? After 1 month of a chanchi, you still have to think what's important to you? You're supposed to be doing this, become enlightened. There's only one thing why we're doing this, why we're supporting you, what we're cooking for you. What else do we do for you? See, in order for you to become enlightened. So keep enlightenment in mind. Enlightenment is Buddha. Right? So, you need to be mindful of becoming enlightened. This is why we are making sacrifices for you, and you making sacrifices for yourself. You're sacrificing your family time, you're being comfortable, you're eating well. Because I heard that temple now, the last 2 days, are only leftovers from Thanksgiving. And no one complained. It's kind of cute. Today, a bunch of people came, and end of the month, Great Compassion Repentance. Anyway, you see, so you should be mindful of becoming enlightened. In order to become enlightened, what do? There's a certain practice you're doing. It's called meditation. It's called chant. Whatever you do, whatever Dharma or Law you're practicing, you should be mindful of that. From 3 until midnight. Yes? Supposedly. But you aren't. Okay? Shame on you. Should be more mindful. Make sense now? Okay? What about the Sangha? Don't be mindful of Sangha. We are bad examples for you. And that is your lack of blessings. If you had like Master YongHua, who always put on this chanchi, then you say, okay, he's the teacher, he's the great teacher that you should be mindful of, okay, and so forth. Did I answer the question from Korea, Lyle? Indirectly? Or if you repeat the question again, I will now answer your question for you.
네. 그러니까 왜 그 삼보라는 말을 일부러 숨기는 것처럼 그렇게 길게 이름을 많이 쓰는데 이 경전 안에서는요. 근데 왜 그렇게 그 삼보라는 말을 일부러 숨기듯이 안 썼는지 궁금하고, 그리고 앞으로 다른 경전이나 앞으로 이제 경전에서 염자를 만나면 그때는 늘 이렇게 삼보의 마음 챙김을 한다라고 이해하면 될지. 네.
So, Master, the question was, as you could see, when we learn about Avatamsaka Sutra, there are long names for celestial kings, and without any hesitation, they explain these long names. However, I'm just wondering, were they hiding this triple jewel, mentioning about triple jewel? Or I don't know why, but why they didn't mention about triple jewel, for example, on this slide? And also from now on, when I read any sutra, when I see this word mindfulness, nyam, do I automatically think about mindfulness of the triple jewel? Thank you.
Okay, so the point of this particular celestial king's wisdom or supreme intent here, that his job is to help living beings be mindful of the most important thing, the most beneficial thing for them. Okay, 最胜念 is you should be mindful of what's most important to you, and this is where depending on who you are, we have to help you. This king here has to help you graduate from what's important to you. For example, for some people it's money, some people it's education, some people is family or children and so forth. Okay, so what his wisdom is about, this celestial king's wisdom, is that he has a wisdom to be able to guide you to help you attain what you want, your desire, fulfill your desires, and eventually help you understand that ultimately, in order to get you to realize all your desires, your best bet is to be mindful of Triple Jewel. Ultimately, that's graduation, if you will. Okay, so you graduate gradually. Just for example, to give you a practical example. When we teach meditation, for example, at our temples, okay, we don't tell you about being mindful of Triple Jewel, because you say, who's Triple Jewel? Especially Daniel says, Triple Jewel? I'm a Catholic. What are you talking about? Huh? And so part of the wisdom involved is that you teach them you help them to get what they want first. This Catholic here wants his girlfriend to fall in love with him. Okay? And so part of the meditation, or part of our teaching, whether it's through meditation or whether it's through non-meditation, is to help him become more attractive to his girlfriend. You understand? That's called expedience. Yeah. And then you help them get what they want gradually, and help them understand that's more important things than his girlfriend. Because his girlfriend falling in love with him won't necessarily bring him happiness. And then we help understand, happiness is more than just the girlfriend. It's more than just God, eventually. You see? So it's a gradual process where it's required. The true here, the wisdom here, is the wisdom of the celestial king to be able to guide them in their pursuits. Same thing as the Sangha is supposed to have the wisdom to guide you and lead you to get what you want. Okay? In your journey towards Buddhahood, in order to keep you interested, we need to have the wisdom to guide you to get what you want. Okay? So it's not that we try, this celestial king tries to disguise himself. The supreme mindfulness, meaning that what's most important to you is actually the Triple Jewel. But eventually, however long it takes, what he does is he plants the seeds for you to get there. Does it help? He's not disguising at all. He just says, I'm recognizing for Daniel, for example, to talk to him about becoming a Buddhist, it's kind of fun, a joke thing. It will not happen, okay? But it's more important for him to get his girlfriend first, okay? Until he gets his girlfriend, being Buddhist, it really means nothing at all. But if one day I tell his girlfriend, you make him and give him an ultimatum, You become Buddhist, I will drop you. Never mind about you becoming my boyfriend, I'll drop you. You see, there's so many ways to go about it. So the wisdom, the chi here, is referred to the skill and means that he deploys to eventually help you understand that the big picture for you is a triple jewel. If you're mindful of triple jewel, you're going to get what you want. And that's our purpose. Lion, we're not trying to impose things on you. We're trying to convince you along the way, okay, to get what you want and eventually bring you there. Go ahead. Chu Kong.
네, 정확히 이해됐습니다. 감사합니다.
Thank you, Master. I completely understood.
Okay, very good. Next, 8:11. Is it clear? Okay, remember, where were we? 11, 10. Supreme 10 here. This refers to, remember the concept we talked about is nian, is mindfulness. Okay? The mindfulness here, again, I want to summarize for you. You're naturally mindful because it's important to you. So therefore, yes, in order to get you to become mindful, ultimately a triple jewel, which is the most beneficial thing for you, the most important thing for you, we will help you being mindful right now what's important for you and graduate towards the most important things for you. If you have any wisdom at all, is triple jewel. All right? Next. Yes, 8.
可爱乐清净妙音天王.
Can I do my English first?
Oh.
So much competition. Celestial King, pleasing, pure, and wonderful sounds.
可爱乐清净妙音天王.
Thank you very much. These real characters, you know. But I'm not afflicted. Okay, so remember this is the second dhyana heavens. So they are this particular king here. They produce what they're teaching. In here refers to the message they're teaching, not necessarily the sound. Okay? In here, it should be read as message. Okay? The communication. Okay? So whatever he's teaching here, he says 可爱, meaning it's really adorable. 乐, give you joy, give you pleasure. 精进 means pure, and 妙 is wonderful. Okay? So that's what he's doing. He's actually a very clever operator. Okay? He says, whenever you encounter him or his light, you like it. You like his light. Okay? You're receptive to it. In versus like the living beings, when they meet with the demons, for example, the normal living beings would be scared of them, would be turned off by the demon's energy, if you will. Okay? Whereas this king here, oh, hello, The tulip just moved. What did I do to you? Sorry. Yeah. So you don't see it. I have a tulip here in front of me, like 9 tulips, yellow tulips, beautiful tulips. And for 4 nights in a row now, it's the first time one tulip moved. So apparently my talk moved the tulip. Never mind. Okay, so he has using this expedient where when you encounter its light, you like it. You like his light. And it brings you pleasure. Just to be shined upon. His light shines upon you. You like him, like the light, and you have this pleasurable feeling. Okay? That's important. Because, people like him, he's suffering. And if this celestial king shines light upon him, he says, wow, I feel better now. It's like, you know what I mean? Okay? So it's important. It's comforting to people, to living beings, to the celestial beings. Okay? And pure is that they have reduced desires. Okay? They have fewer afflictions. They feel cooler. Because when you have greed, you have anger, your body is hotter. It heats up. You know that? Or it cools down. Okay? When you're angry, your body heats up. When you have desire, your body cools down a little bit. Okay? Some desires. Okay? Like desire for ice cream. Okay? Why do I have a craving for ice cream now? Okay? So pure is that it reduces your afflictions. And wonderful. What about wonderful? What about wonderful sounds? Wonderful sounds. Think of it like an orchestra. Yeah, the sound of a trumpet, the sound of trombones, the sound of viola, sound of piano, sound of cymbals, sound of or the sound of all those beautiful sounds coming together. It makes you feel such a wonderful sound. I know none of you goes to, are interested in going to philharmonics and orchestras and so forth. Okay, you peasants. But, that's what wonderful sounds is about. This is why that's why the cultured people, they go to philharmonics, they go to operas. You know what I mean? Because they produce wonderful, wonderful sounds. Okay? So what is this wonderful sound? These are the sounds that creates wonders in your mind. So, oh wow, how wonderful. Makes you give rise to wonder. And makes you amazed, interested, piqued, hooked. It says, I want this. Yes? I want more of this. Because it's wonderful. Who says that Cultivation, you give up everything. You see, this is the result of your cultivation. That's what he does. Who says this is empty? Like the Hinayana people, like the fourth stage Arhat say, oh, it's empty anyway. No. Empty is part of the picture. It's also, there's wonders in the emptiness that you're not experiencing yet. And you have to go to Mahayana to understand wonders. You have to go to Buddhism to see the wonders of God. Hey, Catholic. Okay? The Mahayana practice is supposed to help you see the wonders of existence, the wonders of life, the wonders of cultivation. Yes, 8.
Master, do they have to cultivate these traits?
No. What they're talking about is this guy has so much wisdom. Whatever he does, will generate wonders in you. You say, wow, this is so cool. Yes.
So one day, do we all get a name too?
Eventually, one day, but your name will not be wonderful. Your name will be scary. Your practice is slightly different. We all have our place. in like some people have to yell, some people have to smile, some people are mean, some people are nice. That's part of that. Some people need to be yelled at. That's why you come in. Some people have to be beaten up. That's why Qian Tong comes in. Okay, so all the thing is so part of the big picture. That's what's called wonderful. It's all the pieces fit together. She's still wondering. Yes.
So we have to cultivate it. So meaning, if we want to have a nicer something, certain characteristics, we can focus on that.
No.
Let
me explain to you. Okay, and I agree. This woman, okay, Koreans, don't get offended by these Americans. They're gonna pursue you until they get what you want. No, you Koreans, okay. Is that all you want to tell me? Okay. No, these Americans, this is why when you speak Dharma to the Americans, they will pursue you, okay? They will not take no for an answer, okay? So anyway, let me explain to you, okay? Part of wonders is there's beautiful, there's ugly, there's kindness, there's cruelty. That's why it's called wonder. Understand? It's the complete ball of wax. It's not single. It's not skewed towards only beautiful things and nice things and lovable things and pure things. It was wonderful because it also includes impure things. So it includes ugly things, nasty things. That's why the Sangha is like that. And nasty people, ugly people, and there's wonderful people. You understand? We are ugly and nasty. It's the other true cultivators are wonderful. We're not. We're happier. Being mean and, and ourselves. You understand? So this wonderful thing here, you develop it by providing the entire spectrum. If you only provide, I give you only joy from meditation, that's not wonderful. Do you understand? It's natural in your practice eventually. When you get to high levels of enlightenment, you understand wonderful. You don't understand it yet because you're not high enough. That's why you have to go to the Avatamsaka world to understand wonderful. Okay? You appreciate the wonders. Just like you appreciate the Philharmonic and you appreciate the art, you appreciate the culture, you appreciate all the nastiness of the world as well. It's just part of the wonders. You don't reject them anymore, you embrace them. That's why it's wonderful. It's not wonderful when you only take the good things and chop off the bad things and reject them and destroy them and so forth. We still embrace them. We don't judge them. We still help them. We don't try to destroy them. We don't slander them. Because we understand wonderful. It's everything. Good, the bad, the ugly. And Clint Eastwood. No, man, you don't watch movies, so you. You non-Americans, so boring. Okay, you got that? So it's wonderful, and that's why these living becomes they seek to experience the wonders of existence, and that goes through cultivation. Cultivation is wonderful. That's why you're here. You appreciate it. You say, my life is hard during the day, but at night I go to a lecture, I feel wonderful. Yes, Michael? Huh? The pain and suffering all day? Yeah, come there and you forget about it. You hear all the wonderful things about life that actually is part of you. You can connect with it. Part of all of us. Don't sell yourself short. Yes, it's you. You can experience this wonderful life. Okay? Still a few more minutes. 10 more minutes. Celestial King sound a wholesome reflection. Oh, we lost our Chinese person.
Sorry. 善思为因天王.
So 8:14. So this king here, he goes back to the basics. He says, I want you to lean towards goodness. Okay, so my teaching to you, okay, my message to you is that be good. That's your foundation. Whatever you do, do good. It's such a powerful message. Think about it. Don't be so petty. Don't be so selfish. Just be good. Do good. Do more good. for others. That's all. Keep it very simple. And when you do more good for others, it be good, you find out how wonderful it is. All right, next. Celestial King, universal sound pervasively shining.
普音遍照天王。
816, commentary. This celestial king here, okay, has 普音遍照天王. This sound here, he reaches everywhere, okay? It cannot be stopped, okay? Meaning the light, okay, that he shines upon cannot be stopped. I have an emergency, sorry. Recite. Tell her to recite. Okay. So this celestial king here, it says here, 普音遍照, okay, and how does the sound pervasively shine? Remember, the sound here is actually the message, not simply sound. So the light here conveys a teaching, conveys a message, okay? And he shines upon, his light shines through and reaches everywhere. It cannot be stopped, cannot be obstructed. And that's part of his contribution, part of his work, is that when he decides to teach, he decides to help people, okay, he cannot be stopped. All right, it's very important. This is a concept for you to be mindful that sometimes, okay, you're receiving a lot more help than you realize because these people have, your teachers, these people helping you have to overcome the obstructions to get to you. That's why Pu is universal, is everywhere, doesn't discriminate, and it cannot be stopped. Okay? Next. Celestial King, most profound voice of light.
甚深光阴天王。
And commentary, and Shen Shen, he's very profound light, and that conveys a sound to teach and guide living beings. And so, what is profound? Profound means that it has multiple layers, has multiple meanings. So the sound here is one light, okay, but actually conveys these layers upon layers of meanings, of teachings. Depending on your level, you can retrieve whatever you can use out of it from all this light. Okay, so give me 5 minutes. I'll be done in 5 minutes. And 819, celestial king, brightness of immaculate renown.
无垢称光明天王。
So this king here, celestial king here, his light is derived from purity, okay, and he's very known for his pure practices, okay, and he will brightly shine upon the being that he is trying to save, okay, and Cheng Wang Ming, okay. Cheng Wu Gou Cheng. Okay, so this light here convinces his living beings of leaning towards purity, towards to renounce defilements. Okay, so that's what he does for his work. Okay, and finally one more, the last one, and celestial king, supreme pure light.
最胜净光天王。
So this is this pure light that he shines upon living beings. So he influences living beings with practicing purity. 823, these and others acted as leaders of a countless number of kings of the voice of light heavens.
如是等而为上首，其数无量。
Okay, and they are representatives of countless leaders, rulers of the world, and they all abide in the unobstructed Dharma of vast, great, quiescent joy.
皆往广大极尽喜乐无碍法门。
协助。
协助。
And so what do they do as world leaders? What is that they doing? They abide by the vast and great Dharma door of non-obstruction, meaning that they cannot be obstructed. Okay, there's a way that in their practice that will render them their work cannot be obstructed by the demons and the ghosts. Okay, and part of that, because of that unobstructed, the state of being unobstructable, that they experience this vast and great quiescent joy. As I write here, is a proof for you that these living beings, life is actually very fantastic, very joyful for them. If you feel, for example, right now, when you are a CEO or president or successful person, you have all the material things and the fame you want, recognition you want, but also you actually are suffering a lot. These beings, these world rulers, they're not suffering at all. And yet they do great work. They're capable of doing great work, helping us out. And yet they can abide in great and quiescent joy. Isn't that fantastic? They're superior beings. Okay, next time we start on the next group on slide 827. Thank you all. I have to go.